Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Rocket.Chat session. My name is Christina, and today I will be your moderator. And today we're talking about an integration between Rocket.Chat and Nextcloud, two of the leading open source solutions in the world of digital communication and workplace collaboration. Because we were so excited about this integration, we decided to do a designated session. So I had to invite these great speakers to join us today. We have Marius from Nextcloud. We have our Bert Moons from Rocket.Chat, and then we have Diedrich, who came from Fabulor, the company that basically made this integration happen on the technical side. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I will be with you shortly. Let me just talk to the audience a little bit. So, thanks everyone for joining again. I will start with a few technical things. On your right-hand side, you can see three tabs. There is polls tab you can use throughout the session, and I will just post a poll right now that you can use whenever you want. Let me just make sure I did it. Okay, yeah, it's there. So you can, if you realize throughout the session you need more information about either Rocket.Chat, Nextcloud, or the integration itself, please let us know. We'll make sure to reach out to you. You can use the questions tab to, ask any questions you might have throughout the session. We'll be answering these questions at the end. And then we have a chat tab, which I would like you all to use right now by saying where you're listening from. I'm going to start with myself and say hello from Croatia. Where are you guys joining from? Nice. We have people from all over the world, like every time. Canada, a lot of Germany. Hello, Poland, Italy. Hey, guys. It's always very nice to see people from all over the world. South Africa, Switzerland, awesome. There's a lot of people from Europe for sure, and I think both solutions are used heavily in Europe, and we will cover some topics today that are specific to what's going on in Europe right now. The focus will be on the integration itself, obviously, but the agenda is very packed. So let's move forward. We'll first introduce Rocket.Chat because I believe there is users of both Rocket.Chat and Nextcloud. So we'll be introducing Rocket.Chat, then Nextcloud. Then we'll have a short panel discussion about what I just mentioned, what's going on in the world of open source, interoperability, and in general, what's happening in Europe right now. And then Diedrich will take over to explain the integration itself. So Bert, the floor is yours now.
Thank you very much, Christina. So I'm looking forward to give you a very short introduction all about Rocket.Chat. So I think most of you already know Rocket.Chat, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I would like to give you guys a short introduction here. So Rocket.Chat is a communication platform that puts data protection first. And if we're putting data protection first, it's important that you are owning the data. So you as a customer are owning the data, and that means for us that first of all, you can choose where you're installing the environment. So this can be in a SaaS environment hosted by us, this can be in an on-premise environment, or of course also in a private cloud. If you're owning the data, of course, you also would like to make sure the data is secured. So if the data is secured, this means that we can help you with an end-to-end encryption. We can help you with a role-based permission. We can help you with audit trails, just to make sure that you all have a full control of all the data that you're seeing there. And of course, also the platform itself is also ISO certified. And of course, also we are also GDPR ready with all of the different functionalities that we have available in the platform. But as you can see in the title from the slide, we also would like to show you how can Rocket.Chat help you. So Rocket.Chat can help you with, first of all, the first use case is team collaboration. In team collaboration, we believe it's important that you have the best ways possible to communicate with each other. So if I'm communicating, for example, with Christina, I would like to send her a message. This message can be encrypted, can be not encrypted, depending on how I have set up. I also would like to have a team collaboration with multiple people with each other. And if I'm setting up a team collaboration, this can become a private team, this can become a public team, but it also can, for example, be a broadcasting message, just making sure that I'm broadcasting messages to a lot of people together. And of course, if I'm communicating with my colleagues, I also would like to do some videos, and I would like to also do some file sharing to make sure that I have the best ways possible to communicate with my colleagues. But of course, in the day of today, we're not only communicating with our colleagues, but we also would like to communicate with our other organizations that we're collaborating with. The other organizations, they're maybe sitting in the office next to us, but they probably have their own tools. So they maybe have Rocket.Chat, but they may be using some other tools that you see here on the slides. What we are providing with Rocket.Chat is an integration with all of these other tools also, just to make sure that you can have a live and a secure chat, not only with your colleagues, but also with the other people from other departments or from other organizations. And the third use case where we're really focusing on also is how can we also communicate with your customers? How can you communicate with your customers or with your civilians? Those are the people who are, they don't use any company tools. They are using WhatsApp, they're using Instagram, they may be using email, they may be using just your website. So they have all kind of different ways of communicating with you. And if they send out, for example, a WhatsApp message, they would like to send out a WhatsApp message to your organization, so your support agents can see the message and can keep on responding there. So with Rocket.Chat, we are helping you with the customer engagement for providing you with an interface for that. And the fourth use case is, of course, also the in-app chat. So the in-app chat, that means that all the functionalities that we have available in Rocket.Chat that can be used to integrate also in your own platform. So you can use our APIs to integrate in your platform. But next to this, we also have our own app market where we have, with different types of APIs, also provided different integrations in other platforms. For example, Nextcloud or Jira or some other platforms. So very shortly, what is the team collaboration for us? Team collaboration is the best way possible to securely collaborate with all of your colleagues. As you can see, a few highlights on this slide is that we are having a permission panel where you have a role-based permission to communicate with your colleagues, just to make sure that maybe my manager is having different rights than I am, maybe just to make sure that some communications are end-to-end encrypted, and that we also, of course, also provide you with a way of really integration with, for example, LDAP here. And of course, also some other things that you see here about auditing and about history, what you can see in the messages. All of the communications is not only happening internally, but we're also happening externally. So within Rocket.Chat, we are providing you with an interface where you easily can connect also to other platforms. On the slide, you will, for example, see already in the channels some icons. And on the icons that you see there, you can see that from Rocket.Chat, you can have a communication with Slack or with Teams or with other platforms. And of course, also all of the other platforms. So soon we will also introduce all of the other platforms that will also then use the welcome standards for that one. And one of the side notes that you see here at the bottom is, I think, a very nice one, is that if you're sending an email today to somebody from another organization, you don't have to worry which type of email program they're using. So we are providing you with a secure chat platform, a similar type of experience. You don't have to worry as an end user which type of platform is the other person using. No, we are providing you with one platform that you can communicate also, that you can start a secure chat to any type of other users. This is a short introduction from Rocket.Chat. I think today we'll see some other updates regarding that one. But right now I would like to hand over also to Marius to give also to give you also a more overview of Nextcloud, of course.
Thank you, Bert. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I can control. So about Nextcloud, I'm going to keep this a bit more basic. Nextcloud itself is a content collaboration platform. We offer services like for file share, for groupware. We also offer services for communication and planning, like mail and other applications. And you can think of it like broadly, like services like Dropbox or Google Drive, but in a privacy respecting way that you can also host yourself and puts you in control. So, and therefore we are also really excited to see how Rocket.Chat can integrate in this, and that's we're going to see later by Didrik. And we do have our own file shares. Also, this is a screenshot of our new gallery. We have the Nextcloud 24 release launching in, I believe, a few days while we're streaming this. We also have sub for groupware, as I said, and we got funded in 2016. And as I said, we focus on building self-hosted on-premise collaboration solutions. We have over 85 employees. This number, I think we surpassed 90 employees last week already. Over 600 customers all over the world and over 60 million users worldwide, approximately over 400,000 Nextcloud servers. Everything we do is 100% open source, and we operate out of Berlin and Stuttgart in our office, but we are also mostly remotely working. So that's like the broader overview of the Nextcloud. And I think I'm going to hand it back over to Christina. More.
Thank you, guys. Thank you both for introducing the solutions. Again, reminding everyone, if you will need more information, you can use the poll and we'll reach out to you. So before we move forward to Didrik, I thought it would be nice to just talk a little bit about what's happening in general in the world of open source. What I found very interesting recently in one of the reports put together by Red Hat was that a lot of IT professionals are using enterprise open source solutions, and that this demand is basically increasing all the time. And what we're seeing in Europe specifically is that they've created their own strategy. European Commission has created their own strategy about open source software, where they're really recommending open source solutions. So my question to you, all of you, is the speakers, is why is this happening? Like, what makes organizations turn to open source versus closed source solutions, specifically for this use case of digital collaboration and tools that really enable remote and hybrid work?
Thanks. Should I start? Okay, it's fine. So it's good. I'm happy to start with this one. So I think
yes,
first,
I
think one of the biggest reasons is if you're having an open source platform, this means that you have a complete transparency what's happening. And if it's complete transparency, this is something I think what especially governments, but also a lot of other commercial customers also are looking for, to understand the transparency about. It's not a black box that's running somewhere where they're putting all of their key data. And no, it's a transparency about they can understand what will exactly happen with their data, where the data is used for. And next to this also, I think one of the other major benefits is also that behind a large open source platform, you also have a large community sitting behind it. And that large community sitting behind it, they are always trying to investigate in the software. They are finding bugs. They are just finding bugs, but not only finding them, but also trying to fix them, and making sure that this code becomes better and better and better. And they will also come up with a lot of different types of improvements in the solutions there, so that an open source software in general is also more stronger because a very big community sitting behind it driving a solution to a certain direction. And then you have really a market and a community sitting behind that market who's driving a solution to that particular direction and making sure that the governments and all of the other users can use that. It's a very small note from my side, but maybe Marius or Diederik, maybe you guys also would like to add something there.
I'd like to add, yeah, absolutely, 100% agree with the community factor that you've mentioned, absolutely. Also, what we often see from our clients is, as you've already also mentioned, putting themselves back in self-control and also enabling them to hosting the product themselves as an open source product, which they can, and which most of our customers also do. We have seen over the last 2 years projects that started out as like a tiny platform that was maybe hosted on AWS or Microsoft and then scaled or got popular over the years and had to scale up. And that can get very expensive. And by hosting it on your own, in your own data center, on your own hardware, on your own office even, whatever the scalability there will be, you are more in control and better equipped to make these kinds of decisions. And it's not going to be as financially difficult as it might be on other platforms.
And what we see from a partner perspective.
Go ahead, Diederik.
Sorry. What we see from a partner perspective is that you, together with your customer, can create your own roadmap. So that means that we are not dependent on the roadmap of, for example, a Microsoft or a Google. No, you could create your own because you can build your own integrations or your own blocks. It is not depending on the roadmap of the big vendors. And that means that you have the complete freedom to integrate with whoever you want or to customize your platform whatever you want to. And I see that as a real advantage, especially for a reseller or an implementation partner who wants to customize it specific for the customer.
All good points. We have an interesting comment in the chat about this. It says open source, open standards, because lock-in is expensive in the medium to long term. Do you guys have any comments on the vendor lock-in mentioned here as well?
Yes, yes, they're very good points. And I think if you're looking at some very big vendors in the market, a lot of times they are defining their own standards, and they are a lot of times defining own standards and saying that you have to follow our standard. But because we are, as an open source solution, we are driven by the market. And driven by the market means then that it's not necessarily one person or one organization who is saying that this is the right standard. It's always multiple organizations coming together just to define that. And I think one of the things what we, for example, have seen with some of the governments some time ago is that they have also said, like, we would like each different a vendor to use specific standards to communicate with us, just to make sure that if this organization is using this product and this organization this product, that they always can talk to each other. And for that, there are several standards in the market that can help you.
Yeah, and for example, that's what we heard when we created this connection. It's a question, for example, for Microsoft. Why didn't they integrate, for example, Office 365 and Microsoft Teams? Why didn't they integrate with one view, one platform? No, they didn't. And if you want to, you have to pay a lot of money because you have to customize it by yourself. And then within the next upgrade or update of the product, you should do a lot of rework to let it work again. And that's crazy. And that gives you also the freedom of open source and open standards that you, if you want to integrate it, like we want to show you later, if you want to do it, it's not that it is very easy, but it's doable and you can integrate it. And I think that's also a big advantage.
Yeah. Good point, Diedrich, and I think we'll touch base more on interoperability itself a little bit later. But I wanted to go back to what Bert mentioned a little bit, how government agencies are turning to open source more and more, I think, and it's recently both Rocket.Chat and Nextcloud made it to the list of preferred software providers, open source software providers by Swedish government. A very nice report where they're recommending open source solutions to be used within government agencies. What were they looking for, Bert and Marius, like from this report, and you guys like know more about the process, and what were some specific, I don't know, features or functionalities, characteristics of software solutions that Swedish government maybe, or governments in Europe in general, are looking for?
I can quickly talk about the Swedish government case there. They were looking for a solution that could like respect and implement all the open standards. That was one of the important key points there. And in the end, there were like only two solutions, us and a competitor that happened to be proprietary and closed source, and they went for the open source solution. Also because we managed to get all of their requirements integrated in this one package that is Nextcloud, instead of the competitor who had to span that out more in like separate applications. So they were looking like for a one-stop shop solution that also respected diversity, supported open standards, and at the end of the day also was open source. They're very keen on that as well.
Indeed, and maybe quickly would like to add there. So I think for me, one of the key takeaways from what they were looking for is, let's say, interoperability, and interoperability within one organization, because let's say one organization, they maybe can choose a specific video solution, they maybe can choose a specific file collaboration solution, they maybe can choose a specific communication platform, but they would like to make sure that it always can be interoperable with each other, that they all different platforms within one organization, first of all, can communicate with each other, and that all of the functionalities that we just can use the strengths from each different platform, and that they together will deliver one strong solution. And this is, of course, the first interoperability within one organization, but next to this also the interoperability in between organizations. Because in between organizations is, if you, of course, as a government, it's just one word, but of course, behind that, there are 100,000 people working behind it in different types of organizations and with different types of requirements and different types of groups behind it. If we're looking for this one, they also would like to have a secure chat, for example, in between each other. And if they would like to have a secure chat between each other, then we can't say that they all need to use Rocket.Chat, that they all need to use this solution or this solution. No, they should have the freedom to choose the solution that's best for them. And if they have the freedom to choose a solution that's best for them, it's important that they still can integrate with each other, all of them together. And making sure that if you have department 1 would like to chat with department 2, that they just always can have a secured way of doing that. And this is, I think, one of the main requirements that they asked us and also some other providers here. And this is also, I think, it's a very, very, very nice initiative that they have set up. And I think together with Marius and together with some others, we are very happy to be on the shortlist there. So.
Indeed.
Great, thank you. We've touched the interoperability again. So maybe I'll just switch to that topic before we pass the mic to Diedrich completely and talk really about the integration. So this Digital Market Act that was introduced by European Parliament, it happened recently, and it really sounds like it's going to be a game changer for mostly, I would say, smaller players in the market, and it really will be impacting big messaging platforms and messaging providers. You guys mentioned some of them, such as Microsoft Teams, for example. What are your and both Rocket.Chat and Nextcloud, as we heard, are very open. Like this message to open up the APIs to these big players, it's not really towards us, but towards some other companies. What are your comments about this, and how do you feel like this will impact the market, and in general, how it will impact Rocket.Chat and Nextcloud?
Marius, would like to go first?
I can. Again, I'm not technically an engineer at Nextcloud, so I won't get into too many technical details. But in itself, I think it's a great step to also, as Christina, enable smaller players to, get a chance to be actually compatible with these or interoperable with these kinds of services, and also give them a chance to compete. And therefore, that's also obviously an option then for us to integrate into Nextcloud. So in the end, it should benefit everyone. Also, one thing that I can add, I'm very happy about the report that came out a few days ago out of the European Union, where they said that they do want to keep the requirement of end-to-end encryption in there. In the beginning, when it was introduced, it kind of looked like an attack on end-to-end encryption to make interoperability possible, but they scratched that, and I think that's a step in the right direction.
Thanks.
Back to you, Ben.
Maybe very shortly indeed would like to add that I think it will benefit for everybody this type of engagements from, for example, the European Commission, but also from the other governments, because it just makes sure that we're not going to be controlled by some commercial organizations. Everybody has the possibility to deliver the strongest solution, and every customer also has the possibility to choose the solution that fits best for them, and just making sure that they indeed can always coming back on that interoperability part, making sure that they always can communicate with each other, and that they are not forced to use all a solution by one particular vendor. So that is, I think it's a large benefit for and for the smaller vendors, of course, but also and maybe an even larger benefit for the customers who are right now free to make a choice themselves. So.
Great. Thank you everyone for this discussion. I feel like we could make another entire session about this. There were even some questions about interoperability, integration as well, in general, so we'll cover some of them at the end. I suggest now, I believe Diedrich has so many things to say about the integration itself. Again, Fabular was the one that made this happen. So Diedrich, the floor is finally yours.
Thank you very much, Christina. And I see also some questions in the chat from exemplary fields. And wait 5 minutes and I will give the answer why you should integrate Nextcloud and Rocket.Chat, because that's what we did. Let's start here. Too much. So thank you, Catherine. I'm happy to inspire you why you should use an enterprise chat platform into your daily work, and better to integrate it with your hybrid or either digital workspace. I'm Diederik Splinder, the founder of Fabular. And at Fabular, we aim to delight our customers so they can delight theirs, all with ultimate security and privacy. But to delight your customers, you should have an ultimate focused team that is 100% informed and could find information really quickly, and give the right information to customers, patients, citizens, or colleagues and partners. So we at Fabular, we are an official partner of Rocket.Chat and Nextcloud, and we deliver services around these two fabulous platforms. First, we need to really understand our customers' needs. So what we do, what do you want to achieve? Why and how? Of course, we take care of the implementations of the platforms together with you on your own premise or in our premise. We take care that the platform runs smoothly from the beginning. As always, we integrate Rocket.Chat or Nextcloud into your current Active Directory or LDAP and other channels like WhatsApp or email. And when the project is finished, we also take care of the support. You can count on us 24/7. So we are always on. An enterprise chat platform really helps your teams to increase their productivity. We use channels, discussions, or direct messages to stay in touch with your colleagues, partners, or customers. Just a simple question and a direct answer. Then you move forward with your work, and then you achieve your goals, for sure. But what is the challenge nowadays? People, and especially some generations of people, are multi-channel. They use an enormous amount of tools to stay in touch with each other. You, as an employee or IT manager, should take control over the data they share, in or external. And your smart employees are running your business, so they need information now, not wait and hopefully somebody responds with an email with 20 people on copy. No, they want it now. And honestly, email is out. It is a dramatic, time-consuming system from the 90s. So stop it internally and use it only for external agreements or customer engaging. But for internal purposes, it's dramatically old-fashioned. So how could you get control of all communication? Well, simple, use Rocket.Chat. Rocket.Chat is a fully customizable communication platform for organizations with high standards of data protection. It enables real-time conversation between colleagues, with other companies, or with your customers, regardless of how they connect with you. So for example, if you want to chat with your partner who's using Google Meet or Teams, no problem. They can still use it. Rocket.Chat connects seamlessly with Slack, Teams, Google Meet. Do you want to connect with your customers and they want to use WhatsApp, SMS, email, Facebook, or either Insta? No problem. We integrate. If you want to connect with the chatbot on your website, no problem. We integrate with your bot with a live chat. And you will be sure there is always the right answer. All with the data stored, owned by you. You are in control of privacy, security, and compliancy. So why did we integrate it with Nextcloud? Because the combination of a digital on-prem workspace where you can store all your important information and an enterprise communication platform is marvelous. All in one screen, no alt-tab anymore, no switching between Teams or Office 365, no, one view, one screen. So now, with the integration with Nextcloud, Nextcloud can extend and streamline communication with external partners using Rocket.Chat's federation and bridges into Slack, Microsoft Teams. We put everything in one place. Use a single productivity platform that integrates with other tools, including Nextcloud, and keeps all communication and notification in one place. We integrate your communication not only in Nextcloud, but in every platform or app where you want to communicate. Turn their chats into productivity tools using integration with various HR software, for example, Workday, CRM solutions, Salesforce, ticketing systems, Zendesk, project management solutions, Jira, and developer tools to build powerful workflows, for example, Pega or OutSystems. And it's also easy to collaborate on projects and documents using Rocket.Chat right into Nextcloud. They give you guys a huge productivity boost to getting working from one screen. Securely collaborate and communicate with anyone via the world's leading social media channels such as WhatsApp, Messenger, Twitter, Insta, Telegram, and others. And this is our absolutely most important part. With these two fabulous platforms, you are sure that everything is secured and owned by you, even the source code. And leverage more advanced user governance features, access levels, and role-based permissions. Honestly, Microsoft Teams has only two roles, a user or an admin. Same is for Slack. So for example, your WhatsApp groups for internal annual report creation, how do you take control over the data and over the users who manage those groups? When if somebody leaves or it's external, be in control also over the other platforms. And in the end, easily map even the most complex organizational structures into your groups, teams, and discussions. That's all possible with using the both platforms. So guys, are you ready to watch the platform which accelerate your workflow and delight your employees so they can delight your customers and partners? Well, let's see. You see here the basic of Nextcloud. Hopefully you can see here where you can use your files, your photos, your email, your contacts, your calendar. This is the basic dashboard what you get if you buy, for example, the Nextcloud software. And what we did, we created here chat, and that is powered by Rocket.Chat. But before I show you the integration, I first want to show you how you get it. So if you go to the admin panel, you go to the apps, and then you come into the Nextcloud store, marketplace, and at social and communication, you find here on the right hand Rocket.Chat. And if you put here disable, then you get the software. It's a free use and for the community. And if you want to use the enterprise, then call us or call the sales of Rocket.Chat. Also, it is easy to set Rocket.Chat for yourself. So in the panel, you see here at the basic information what you can use to fill in the admins, the username, the password. And so it just to fill in your username and password, and it automatically connects and saves you. And if it doesn't work for you, push the button and there is direct support to Fabula to help you out with this to integration and to help you out with if you have some issues. And if you need some administration documentation, it is here to find. Go to the wiki in GitHub and you get it. Now we go to the chat. When you push on the button chat, it opens directly in the same screen your Rocket.Chat. And what you see here is chats where I'm working on and channels where I be part of. So I received an email from Ruth with some information where I can start communicating and send information back. Also, I received SMS from Rubens, and here we received a message from Kim. And you see at the right exactly how many days ago when it came in and when it was recorded. So what you see here is a complete integration with the Rocket.Chat chat application, what you can configure completely as you want to. So here you can add also communities and other channels It's completely integrated with your team, and it works completely seamlessly. So if you have logged in into the dashboard of Nextcloud, you always also logged in into the chat of Rocket.Chat. This was our presentation. Thank you very much for listening, and I'm really looking forward if there's any questions.
Thank you so much, Didrik. This was very nice, and I hope it answered some of the questions from the chat because we have so many. I don't remember when we had so many questions during live webinars. But just so that obviously we won't be able to cover all of them today. But just so everyone knows, we'll make sure to analyze all of this and reach out to you individually with the answers if we don't cover them today. So don't worry, you'll get your questions answered. I can try choosing the best ones, but the speakers, please jump in if you realize something is more important than what I'm covering. You're a little bit more technical. So there was a question, I believe, about LDAP integration between the two. How does it work?
If you want to take it. You can, there are multiple ways of doing user provisioning between Rocket.Chat and between Nextcloud. So if you can set up LDAP synchronization to Rocket.Chat and to Nextcloud. If your users are not existing yet in Rocket.Chat, they will be automatically created if you're logging on from Nextcloud to Rocket.Chat. This is the default way how it is set up right now. I know that some other people also have some other setups. So I think together with Dietrich and team, we can also support you just to make sure that we can also look at, let's say, more complex setups or some other ways of organizing your user provisioning. But this is a default way how it is set up.
Okay, thank you, Bert. And Didrik and Marius, if you want to jump in, please feel free to do so. But maybe we can go with another question. It might be even related. Does the integration go beyond including Rocket.Chat in an iframe with SSO?
Yes, I think this is the. I think for now it is yes. I think we can look in the future to maybe some other possibilities, but I think for now it provides I think the strength of both platforms, and for the user it is quite straightforward that they just can see in there. Nice looking dashboards that they have a very that they just can click there and then just also use the different types of capabilities from Nextcloud. I know for now we're also looking at some more extensive integrations, for example, but I think for now it will always be based on the iframe integration. I think so. I hope this gives some part of the answers.
Thank you, Bert, for covering this. Maybe the next question says about the use cases for Nextcloud Talk and Rocket.Chat, or the differences or similarities, right? So what are the different use cases?
I would like to give you, it's not a quick answer. So what you see at the difference between Talk and Rocket.Chat, that is a big difference because it is a enterprise communication platforms that goes beyond your enterprise. That means that it goes to your partners if you want to external communication, but also external communication from other channels. So what we want to create is a complete funnel between the front end, so all the channels, to the back end. So that means first, second, third line. So you can transfer calls to second and third line, but also to partners and external parties. So if you want to collaborate with, and that's the first big difference. And the second difference is that we, with Rocket.Chat, we integrated into Nextcloud, and Talk and Nextcloud at this moment is two applications. So they have two front ends, and that is probably Marius can explain why they have chosen for that. But it is and what we did, we integrated so that you have one field. But for collaboration, just chatting between, that's similar. Difference also that we also add video and also add documents, and so you can also add more type of panels and discussions into it. Marius, do you want to add something to my answer? Because you are...
You already said it all, I believe. But at the end, there are different use cases and different feature sets in both of our apps, and whatever works for you. But yeah, I don't have much to add to that.
No. So in summary, it is especially for omni-channel purposes, then you can, in my opinion, better add Rocket.Chat because they have the standards, and also for enterprise communication within your company, but also with external parties behind you. So, for example, we're now working close to the Dutch railways, and what they need is that they have partners at the back end. For example, the railways of international, they want to communicate with international partners. Yeah, therefore we use Rocket.Chat to integrate with that.
Okay, thank you, Dietrich, for covering this. And then we have a question that's maybe more towards, I believe, Nextcloud, and then one that's more about Rocket.Chat. About Nextcloud, Marius, what are some future integrations? As an example, I see here OnlyOffice. What are your plans or big integrations coming up soon? And is OnlyOffice on the list?
I mean, we do offer OnlyOffice integrations, and we do have our own Nextcloud office that is based on CollaboraOffice. So that's already in there. I won't spoil too much because on Monday or Tuesday, I believe we have our new release coming out. So I think I'm getting the, no, I'm not allowed to say anymore. But we will have future integrations, and there's a wide variety of things that can already integrate in our app store. So we will only add to that.
Okay, thank you, Marius. And then one towards either Bert or Dietrich. I don't know who can answer better, but one of the listeners said that some of their partners use Matrix, and that Dietrich already mentioned that it was possible to chat with other platforms, which we talked about a lot. So the question is, can we chat with them through Rocket.Chat directly?
Yes, this is a very good question. We are in a big favor of the Matrix protocol, and this is also some part of the interoperability to communicate between different departments or different types of communication platforms. Yes, we will soon release some more information about our Matrix integrations, and I maybe can't spoil too much myself. So, but I know soon you will announce another webinar. And in that other webinar, that is, I think that our CEO Gabriel and of course Chris together, that they can share all details regarding that. But I can already confirm that we are a major favor of the Matrix protocol, and yes, you can communicate with Matrix protocol, with Rocket.Chat, and also with other communication platforms. And more details will be followed soon.
Great. Sounds like very big and great news. Thank you, Bert. And I think we'll reach out to everyone with the answers. We don't have time to cover more questions today, but I would like to finish with a nice comment from someone from the audience that says it's basically like a joke. What would be the next open source project to be added to this collaboration? And then it says Next Rocket. I saw, Marius, that you already commented on it.
Fantastic.
I thought it was very a smart joke.
Yep.
So Bert already said a few things about what we are planning to do in the near future. And I think this is a very nice way to make a transition to invite you all to join us for our next webinar. That's about the our roadmap for the rest of the year. And while I'm talking, I'm trying to post a call to action to this webinar. So it's coming, it's going to show on your screen very soon. So if you want to learn about what's coming next for Rocket.Chat, what are we working on, what we'll be releasing for the rest of the year, please join us on June 1st. Join us, our CEO and our VP of Product, to learn more details. You can just click on Save Your Seat on the call to action on the screen. You won't leave this session. We hope we see you all there next time. And to you, my speakers, thank you so much for joining today. It was a great session. We had very engaged audience. I say hello and goodbye to the audience again, and I hope I can host you again soon in our webinar. Have a great rest of the day, everyone, and thank you again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks all. Bye-bye.